We've had another outstanding year in Harlingen, and the state of our city is strong. As I report to you this year on many recent successes and upcoming initiatives, I want to put them into a context of how they contribute to community vitality. Many organizations study the vitality of communities and even produce annual lists of the best places to live. I particularly like the way one organization, the Center for Innovative and Entrepreneurial Leadership, have identified 9 key areas which are essential to making a city like Harlingen a great place to live, work, invest, visit. Personal and economic security are paramount. Successful cities have adequate and diversified employment, various types of affordable housing, and a strong sense of personal safety. Fortunately, these are areas in which Harlingen excels. Harlingen now has an unemployment rate of 5.1%. That's nearly a 5% drop in the last 4 years, from 9.8% in 2011. It's the lowest in Cameron County and a close third to McAllen and Edinburgh. And it's lower than the national average. Think about that for a minute. We live in a region which historically has had one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation, yet we can proudly say that's not the case in Harlingen. We also expect that downward unemployment trend to continue with the opening of Qualphone's Customer Service Center, the expansion of existing businesses like UniFirst on Fair Park Boulevard, and the addition of other new employers. Retail sales continue to be strong in Harlingen. For the 3rd year in a row, Harlingen sales have surpassed the $1 billion mark in our climate. To appreciate the magnitude of our retail sales growth, it's best to compare sales over time. And since 2008, Harlingen's retail sales have grown 9.13%, compared to 5.98% in McAllen and 5% in Brownsville, both strong. And while other valley cities also have had significant growth, Harlingen has managed to maintain most of its market share, despite competition from our neighbors. Contributing to this retail growth in 2014 were the opening of Sam's, Cracker Barrel, Ulta, Kirkland's, just to name a few. This type of growth bodes well for our city's finances. I'm often asked, how's the city of Harlingen doing? And the first thing I tell them is that we're in great shape financially. Once again, we ended our fiscal year on September 30th, 2014 with an increase to our fund balance, which now stands at almost $17.2 million. That's an increase of over $2 million as a result of $855,000 in reduced expenditures and almost $1.2 million in increased revenues. And over the last 10 years, the city's combined revenue growth from all sources has increased by more than 42%. Now, any business would be proud of that kind of robust growth. And as members of this community, you should be very pleased and proud of the financial strength and success our city has experienced. Another indicator of economic growth is home sales. A total of 910 houses sold in Harlingen in 2014, which compares very favorably with other valley communities and communities throughout the state. In fact, and I don't agree with A&M very often, but in fact I do this time. The Real Estate Center at Texas A&M reported that Harlingen had the highest year-to-year growth in home sales of any city in Texas, a whopping 24%. Early in 2014, Tom Mason opened a beautifully restored residences at Uptown and quickly reached 100% occupancy. Tom says the project has been financially successful and he would do it again in a heartbeat. Other apartment complexes around Harlingen are also at high occupancies, and the new $20 million plus Vantage Apartments project is nearly complete and currently leasing with 288 units. They're already at 50% occupancy, and by May they should be full. Recently, the city of Harlingen partnered with this great Rotary Club and Habitat for Humanity, which you've heard some about already, on a new affordable housing program. As you may have seen on TV or read the newspaper, Harlingen's first Habitat for Humanity house is under construction on Washington Street on a lot contributed by the city, the funds supplied by this Rotary Club. In anticipation of making this a significant program for our community, $100,000 has been secured from the Harlingen Finance Corporation. More vacant lots acquired through tax sales and forfeitures are available for this program. I want to again congratulate the Rotary Club of Harlingen. And thank Commissioner Mike Lensmar. Many factors that go into evaluating any community, a strong sense of personal safety is at the top of the list. Fortunately, Harlingen continues to post reductions in the crime rate. For the third year in a row, we've seen more than a 20% drop in our crime rate, continuing a 7-year downward trend. Combined overall incidents of violent and property crime were down 22.7% for 2014. As compared to 2013. Individually, incidents of violent crime were down 41.1%, and property crime was down by a little over 20% compared to 2013. But there's one statistic I want to share with you. And though sadly we cannot say this every year, it's truly remarkable that we can say it for any year. In this day and age, in 2014, the city of Harlingen did not have one single murder. In our ever-changing world, education and lifelong learning are vital to success. Harlingen strives for excellence in education at all levels. A new Montessori school opened on Sunshine Strip, just one example of initiatives to improve pre-K education in Harlingen. And our school district and their leadership are recognized as one of the most innovative and outstanding in the state. And while their accomplishments are too numerous to list here today, it is noteworthy that just last month, HCISD opened doors to a state-of-the-art School of Health Professions. And since almost 25% of the people employed in Harlingen work in the healthcare industry, Valley Baptist Hospital, Harlingen Medical Center, Clinica Familiar, South Texas Hospital, Rio Grande State Center, the VA Health System, and the RAC, or in other medical offices and businesses, this new school will help ensure that we have a workforce prepared for these good-paying jobs, these important jobs. We also expect some of these students will advance to UT-RGV Medical School and the other allied healthcare professions that will be offered by UT-RGV as it gains accreditation in the coming months and accepts its first students in 2016. Harlingen's commitment to UT-RGV and its School of Medicine will not waver, and our centrally located 36-acre campus will be an important part of this great and historic educational venue. Because of that commitment, the City Commission in 2014 purchased another 29-acre parcel in the heart of the medical district to set aside for future opportunities which we believe will arise with UT-RGV, including the medical school and possible research facilities. Texas State Technical College has just begun celebrating its 50th anniversary. TSTC is truly one of the city's great treasures and a cornerstone of our economic success. Again and again, the city's investment in instructional facilities on that campus have resulted in economic advancement for our citizens and a trained workforce for a broad spectrum of commercial and industrial employers. For about $8,000 total, you can earn a certification which will start you off in a technical job like robotics at around $60,000 a year. Harlingen's vitality also depends upon the support of entrepreneurs as we continually look for strategic opportunities and encourage new ideas. Perhaps nowhere is this more evident than in our 18-block downtown improvement district, which is now home to more than 170 businesses or organizations, many of which are unique and locally owned. In 2014, a total of 24 new businesses located downtown. The United Launch Alliance was formed as a joint venture by Boeing and Lockheed Martin to provide turnkey rocket launch services to the United States government. ULA manufactures rocket components, including parts of the Atlas V rocket, right here in Harlingen at Valley International Airport. This past December, NASA awarded contracts to both SpaceX and Boeing to build and launch space vehicles capable of delivering astronauts into orbit and to the International Space Station. Boeing's manned space capsule will in turn rely on United Launch Alliance's Atlas V rocket to send the capsule into space. So the chances are good that the next men and women launched into space from a U.S. launch pad will be riding on a rocket fabricated in part by our friends and neighbors here in Harlingen. It's because of people like you here in this room that we have so many accomplishments and achievements to report on here today. Things don't just happen in Harlingen. We work together to make them happen. Together, we get things done. And together, we take time to celebrate our unique cultural traditions and honor local heroes for their service. 2015 is going to be another great year for our city. Thank you for all your service as leaders in business, on our city boards, and in our community. I am grateful for all you do individually and together for the betterment of our city. May God bless all of you. God bless our country. God bless the great state of Texas. And may God continue to bless this great city of Harlingen.